Hey, Shalom, Shalom, call halal, you have Bashim Yahshua, Shimaka Kadash. Double honors to the apostles at the S. Salutations to the men, women, and children that believe are the 1/3. And elect, Salaki. I want to make this about, I was just meditating on some words, some etymology of some words. So what I'm going to be touching on today is teenager, boyfriend, and the word cheating. Now, when it comes to words, they made something called Newspeak, right? Newspeak is, I think it's with an N-U, not N-E-W, right? It's basically the changing of words to deceive the public, right? So gay, like the word gay means happy. It means homosexual. And even if you go into the word homosexual, homo means same, and sexual is sex, right? So it's like a compound word, or it's a word, but it has a prefix on it, right? Or if you say we homogenous, right? They would say that means you the same. We of the same. We cut from the same cloth or the same gene, right? But homogenous really deals with like we the same people, like we cut from the same. But people say that to say like we the same as far as personality or character, right? But when you go into etymology of words, you find out where a word come from, and you be like, oh, that's not the truth behind that word. It's being misused. So you be like, okay, then you find out what? You was living a lie. Because it's like, okay, this word doesn't mean that. So how was things before this word was being used like this? Because now that we have different roles to play under these words that don't have these proper meanings. So now you're playing a role, an improper role, because the word doesn't actually mean that, you know? So, you know, Salakia, I was just looking at something. But so the word don't actually mean that. So now you get into the history of the word, and once you get into the true history of the word, you find out what it meant. Then you find out the truth and how you actually supposed to live and how you actually supposed to go about things. So with the first one, I'm gonna start off with the word teenager. Because cheating and boyfriend kind of like go hand in hand, girlfriend, boyfriend, go hand in hand. So I'm going to start off with the word teenager, right? So when you break the word down, teens, right? Anything after 12, you got 13, then you got all the way to 19, right? So from 13 to 19, you're saying I'm in the age of my teens. That's all you're saying. I'm in the age of my teens. But really, you're a young man. But you'd be like, oh, a young man bought the car from me today. How old was he? I don't know. He was about in the age of his teens. So that's all you're really saying. He's in the age of his teens. But you're still a man. But in today's society, when you say I'm a teenager, you saying like I'm still a kid. I'm just a big kid, right? Because I was listening to something. The guy was fucking 20 years old. He was like, oh, it was just a kid in his 20s. And I'm thinking like a kid, not in his 20s, but he was just a kid. He was only a kid. He was 20 years old. 20 years old, my fucking ass. You know, a 20-year-old could get a woman pregnant. 20-year-old, matter of fact, a 20-year-old will whoop your motherfucking ass. If you ain't on your shit, 20-year-old could do a lot of things. People do a lot of shit. I was doing a lot of things at 15, you know? So, in this world, when they say teenager, because in the scriptures, once you pass puberty, because your body naturally tells you, you know, because once you could bust a nut, and that means what? You able to get a woman pregnant. So now if you able to get a woman pregnant, you got to be able to provide. You got to be able to go to work. You got to be able to generate income. Since you at the point of able to get a woman pregnant. So, but this society be like, oh, even though you could get a woman pregnant and you at the age of being a father, you can't work till you're 21. If you do work, you got to have working papers. It can only be for the summertime and this and that. But that's bullshit. You know, the Lord Luke, the 2nd chapter, when the Lord was 12, you know, he used to go about, you know, teaching the word, this and that. And he told his mother, I'm about my father's business. Because at that age, you know, you grown. And even in the hood, a lot of times people, they say jump off the porch, right? And that really deals with wickedness. I got into the street life, doing shit on my own and shit like that. But a lot of times, you jump off the porch, you know, around the age of 13. You start hanging out with your friends, doing shit, get your girlfriend and shit, you know, staying out late. You know, a lot of us come from single mother homes, so you start not listening to your mother, doing what you want, you know? And that's kind of like how shit was, like, because the Lord was like that in a sense on the right-hand side, you know, as far as pushing his father's will, you know? So this world, and the reason Esau does that, because when you a teenager, you like, well, I'm not an adult, I'm not grown, you know? And that kind of forces you not to be responsible. You know, that kind of forces you to be like, well, I'm 13, I still got fucking 6 more years, or they say 18, right? You grown at 18. Well, I got 5 more years to be unresponsible. I got 5 more years to keep playing around. I got 5 more years to not take shit serious. Because I'm still a kid. I'm not grown yet. And that's far from the truth. And that kind of puts you back. See, Amalek, the small hats, they got something called the Bar Mitzvah, you know. And that's when, you know, the men mature. They do it at 12. Because what? You become a man. They get that from the scriptures. But they'll tell the average public, you know, you're not a man till you're 18. Then they tell you what, you can't drink till you're 21, but then you could go to war at 18. So this shit is all fucked up. It's all fucked up. This video might be like a half an hour. Okay. Got a text message. But this video probably be like, I try to keep it under half hour. Right? So till you 18. So that kind of like, and they able to like regularize the workforce. You know, then when you 12 and you can't work, 13, you like, man, I need some paper. So especially in the hood, you know, with Jake's situation, you're going to be like, man, I'm about to sell some weed. I'm about to sell something. Like, nobody hire me. I'm too young. But I'm at the age of doing things on my own. That's why, like, with teenagers and shit, you can't really tell them nothing because they just start smelling themselves. When they come into, like, 13, 14, especially boys, they be like, nigga, like, yo, I got this shit figured out. Fuck you talking about. Like, you can't really tell them nothing. Only people who could really tell them something like that if they idolize them, somebody they look up to. And most of them look up to like rappers and shit like that. So, but you really can't tell them nothing. You gotta kind of let them like do shit on their own and figure shit out on their own. You could tell them, but like the like force it down their throat, like a lot of shit they think they know it all type shit. Cause I was, we all was like that, teenagers at one point. We thought we had shit figured out. You think you on top of the world, but the world on top of you. This little Young Jeezy's joint, me and the brother used to be bumping and shit. But so teenager. So really, Paul said, when I was a child, did things as a child, but when I came an adult, I put away childish things. So you start taking things more serious. You start behaving like, yo, you're an adult now. You know what I mean? You got to start, You got to start doing this, doing that. Same thing with the woman. You're like, yo, you can't be like, you could get pregnant. Like, you be out here, you know what I'm saying? And shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, your body, you got titties now. Like, you got to cover up. You're not like a little, like, kid no more where you got little knobs on your on your chest. You know what I mean? You got actually boobs now. You got hips. You know what I mean? So you got to, the scriptures like teaches you to take things more serious at a lot younger age. Either you're a child or you're an adult. There's no fucking teenager. You're a young man or a young woman that's in the age of your teens, or you a child. That's it. There's no in between. There's no gray area. And that also give parents more freedom to live their life. Because it's like, yo, only got to raise my kids to like 12 or 13. And after that, the motherfuckers gone. They out of here. We can pick back up on doing shit. Because what kids do, they kind of put your life on pause. A lot of shit you want to do, and you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, they not really supposed to be a burden how they be in this day and age. 30, 40 years just being a burden to your parents. They supposed to kind of just take off, go live life, and do their own thing. You be like, all right, my life was on pause for like 12, 13 years. Your daughters, you married them off. And your sons, you pass down a small inheritance or something, get them a skill, and they go about their business. You're like, all right, the kid's grown. Now, because people say that now, but they be like 60, fucking 70 years old. Talking about something, my kid's grown. They all went to college. They moved out. I'm free. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, having kids could be burdensome than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So that's why parents rejoice. Like, all right, they all grown. I could go back to living how I was living before I had them. You know what I'm saying? Because life is about, like, enjoy. And the word earth comes from the word Aidan, which means paradise. And we was put here to enjoy ourselves, enjoy life. We in captivity and everything. We understand that. But you still have, like, your breathing room. So that's the thing on the teenager. So I'm going to move on. I could touch it a little more, so I'm going to move on. So now the word cheating, right? So when somebody say cheating, the real word is adultery. Now, the difference with adultery for man and woman is different. Leviticus 20:10. If a man lay with another man's wife, he committed adultery. But if a woman lay with another man while she has a man, period, she's an adulteress. And if a woman don't have a man, she just laying around with different men, she's just straight up whore. Now the word cheating came in through these devils because they deceive people to thinking monogamy, right? So the goal of the elites is to depopulate the earth. the major goal. That's the first goal on the, I won't say commandment, right? But goal on the Georgia Guidestones. That's the main focus. Depopulate the earth. So one way of doing this is, they got many ways, right? But one way of doing this is to make men monogamous, right? So put in a woman's mind, a man cannot have multiple women, this and that. So when you're monogamous, you're going to promise, right? So the man and woman is equal and all this. So the woman think like, well, if I can't sleep with other guys, you can't sleep with other girls. And you would think like, yeah, well, yeah, that's fair. You're right. So you get with her and you promise her not to do that, but you don't know the sex drive that's in you. You're going to do that shit anyway. Especially if you like something like, you got your shit together, right? You attractive, or you working out, got your funds right, drive a decent car or whatever. Like, women going to flock around you, you know what I mean? And they going to smile at you with their box. How they say it, I'm just trying to not be too vulgar. And yeah, you gonna creep up in something. Now, you might not be out here smashing everything you see. I wouldn't advise that. But you gonna creep off from time to time. And women know that, but they still, especially if you like halfway decent, but they not gonna tell you that. But if a guy they really like, they will accept it. It doesn't matter. Like, they won't even ask you if you got a girl. They just want to be with you. They just want to be around you if they really like you. But average chick don't really like dudes. And when you don't really want to be somewhere or with someone, you make people pay an incentive for you to be there. Case in point, if you a security guard, you an armed guard, and they're like, hey, man, come to this club in Baltimore. You like, man, hell no. I'll pay. I need a guard. I need a side guard. I need to hire somebody for a guard security tonight. You like, man, I'm not going there, man. Hell no. I'll be gonna have to shoot somebody or get shot or this and that. Hell no. So the dude keep begging you to come there. Normally you charge $500 a night for 12 hours, for 10 hours, right? $500 a night. But since you don't want to be there, you might be like, look, all right, fuck it, I'll do it. I want $1,300. You be like, $1,300? Because what? You really don't want to do it. So for you to do it, like Kanye West said, he said, you should be honored by my lateness that I will even show up to this fake shit, right? So, like, you make people paying incentives when you don't really want to do something. You tax them, right? And you still probably don't want to do it. You make them pay more incentives. So that's kind of what Eve do, right? So you swear to her, I promise to not mess with another woman. I promise you the only one, I promise you. Because you want to get the feels of her ass and tits and her laughter. And, you want companionship. So you commit to her under these oaths, especially in the wedding, right? You will, for better or for worse, to remain faithful, this and that. See, the way a man remains faithful is through provision and protection. Well, protection is something you provide, but it's not through not sleeping with someone else. He stayed faithful to his duties as a man by her. A woman stayed faithful by not laying with somebody else, because we're different. We're not the same. So we don't play by the same rules. Like, a man that's a whore is a man that give away his commitment too fast. Women don't like dudes like that. They be like, oh, because normally dudes that got some type of value to them, they don't commit easily. And that's kind of that gives them value. Now, a woman that's a whore who gives away her body too fast. So it's kind of like different. So they make you, back on the track, they make you swear into them that you will remain monogamous. So now when you break that and go against that, because you will do it, because the Lord put it in us to procreate, to reproduce, be fruitful and multiply. And dudes who try to restrain that urge wind up tricking off, wind up catching some type of disease, wind up establishing like porn addictions, wind up getting another woman pregnant, because wind up putting this girl through a lot of stress and heartbreak, because it's not naturally in us to do these things. So men go about it the wrong way. So they lie just to get with the woman, right? And they commit under these terms. Now when she catch you and say, you cheated. All right, 20 minutes in. You cheated. It's really not adultery, but I get it. You cheated in the sense that you went against the oath. You went against the verbal contract to not do this. And while you've been doing this the whole time and didn't tell me, and you still had the benefit of being with me. So because you knew if you told me, I would have left you, because I told you when I got with you, I wasn't with that shit. So when you did break the contract, the verbal agreement, and you still had the benefits of being with me and being with her. So, nigga, you cheated. With her, she cheated and committed adultery, right? So, that's one cheating. And you don't really want to lie to women, right? So, either you tell a chick, this is what I do, right? First of all, I don't really commit to no chick who don't like me. I don't want to get into how you could tell if a woman like you. All right, a couple of signs so y'all that don't know. She'll let you get away with kind of like anything. Say if you did something wrong, she'll turn a blind eye to it. Like she really like you, right? Or she will adjust to you. So you tell her you do something small. Something I do, like my favorite color is the royal color purple, right? So I'll be like, hey man, I was like, I'll make something up, I'll merge it in there, but yeah, my favorite color purple. And if I see her next week or some shit like that, and she got purple nails, she changed the nails or this and that, she's willing to adjust to me. Okay, she likes me. Right? What's wrong with a lot of dudes out there? You simps, you always adjusting to them. You know, and that's a fail. That shit gonna fail. Right? So, I only commit to chicks that like me. So when I tell them, like, you don't have to tell your woman shit. You tell them what you choose to tell them. You don't have to lie, but dudes feel as though, like, I have to lie because I don't want to tell them what it is. And I have to give her an explanation because she don't really like me anyway. I barely got her. See, that's what's wrong with a lie. I barely got her. You know, she's making me pay all these incentives to be with her. So when she asks me something, I have to give her an explanation. I can't tell her like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like, yo, I told you I don't want to talk about it no more. You can't, a lot of you guys can't do that. And why? Because it's don't have nothing to do with money or no shit like that. It's just that you don't have the confidence and you thirsty and you fear of being alone to say that. Right? But sometimes you say it's surprising. They be like, oh shit, this motherfucker got some balls. They like that shit, right? So you tell them, like, yo, I don't want to talk about that. That's it. And if they keep trying to talk about it, you check them again. And it's the good thing about having your own shit. Because you be like, yo, I'm going to just take you home. Or like, yo, you destroying my peace. Like, you want to go home? I'll take you home. I'll talk to you later. And she might be like, yeah, I'll go home. Then you just take her home, talk to her later. But you don't keep sucking up and kissing ass. All right? I don't want to really try to take this into like one of the red pill videos, but it kind of ties into the point. So you tell them, don't tell them nothing or tell them the truth. But when you lie to them, especially about small shit, they going to squint their eyes at you a little bit like, And that's going to let them know, oh, you scared to lose me. And never, ever let Eve know you scared to lose him, even if you are. Once she find out that, you fucking done. She going to know like, oh, it's something, I have power over him. Oh, you this and that. Because Eve would call you a little bitch. You a pussy. And the reason they saying that because of these things, they dealt with thorough men before. They dealt with Thuggo and these bloody rah-rah and these gang niggas, different niggas before. That was straight up. And they see you lie about small shit, little shit, where you been, and they question you. I thought you said this, and you like you cleared up and all that. They gonna squint at you, and they gonna know like, okay, he's afraid to lose me. I have some type of power over him that I didn't even know I had, right? And he can't even talk straight or look me in the eye when he tell me things. He put his head down, he chuckle, he laugh, and like, chill, yo, chill, you wild, like, so she knows, like, okay, and from that point on, you fucking done. Maybe not the first little lies, but if you keep lying to E, I don't believe in, like, lying to a chick. I just tell them, like, what it is. Like Nas said, I got no game, it's just some chicks understand my story. He said, some bitches understand my story, right? So it's just like, yo, this is what it is. You want to fuck with it or not, right? For me, it's like, yo, I got my own shit. I don't need you for nothing. If you stay, good. If you leave, good. But if you want to stick around, cool. All right, then. My life is really kind of like better without you because women could be like a distraction. Even the good ones. So my next point on, that dragged out a little bit. Boyfriend and girlfriend, right? There's no such thing as a boyfriend or girlfriend. Either when you got, especially with the Israelites, right? When you got with a woman, it's like, yo, you trying to marry my daughter? No, I ain't trying to marry your daughter. Well, nigga, get the fuck up out of here. Because this ain't no friendship, right? Because when you break it down, a boy, that's a friend, a girl, that's a friend. When you go into the word friend, it comes from the Latin word frater, which means brother. And a woman is not your brother. They opposite genders. Only a male could be your friend. You know what I mean? Only that's your actual brother. Like you get the word fraternity, like a frat. Like, you don't call a woman group a frat, you call it a sorority, right? So the word frat comes from that's where you get the word friend, which goes back to the word brother, right? So when somebody say you got a 20-year-old daughter or some shit, she like, hey, daddy, you be like, who the fuck is him? You be like, oh, this is my new boyfriend. So basically what she's saying is, now, in her mind, this is the guy that loves me and want to be with me forever. But in his mind, because remember, women want commitment and men want sex. So in his mind, like, yo, this just some little bitch I found that I told her I'm going to be a boyfriend because that's better than the word husband. It's not full commitment. I could get the ass, I could get head, I could get her to cook for me, I could drive a car. I get to do all types of shit. And if at the end of the day, I could dump on the side of the road and just keep on going about life. So this gave men the edge to get with chicks, break their virginity, dump them on the side of the road without fully committing to them. See, under a marriage, in this society, you would lose half your shit. Then back in the ancient world, you couldn't put them away. period, without the cause of adultery. You'll get chastised and you'll have to deal with her like forever. But it's not that society. But even in this society, you'll lose half your shit. So it's just like, that's why they come out, it's cheaper to keep her. So you be like, damn, I don't really like her, I ain't feeling her, but I'm going to stay with her. But hey, that's what you married her for, this and that. You took her virginity, you got to stay with her. Now, it's more in the sense like, I'm your man. Like, yo, what the fuck that mean? I'm your man. Yeah, he's my man. So when you go into these words, like, these are made up words to put the blinds over your eyes, to make you think you live in a tight married life. The woman, that's why in the church they say, you shacking up. You live in this tight married life, and that's where you get broken homes and all that shit from. But you come to find out, like, you know, and that's why the dudes, like, kind of split a lot of the times, because and his mentality is like, damn, you fucking pregnant? So he like, shit, fuck, I really never wanted to go that far. Because he didn't. You know? Hey, Cameron, he's the illest. He said, man, the bitch know I'm serious because I'm never scared, ma, unless you miss your period. Kanye, not to quote rappers, but these, you know, I'm a music head, so these bars pop up in my head. He said they making planned parents in the hood, but I never known the one who planned to be a parent in the hood. So now, when you with a woman you really want to be with and she's pregnant, you happy. You like, oh, okay. Even if it's not something you kind of wish for, but it's like, all right, I love the shit out of this woman. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I want to be with her. Kind of probably like when, you know, Leah had a baby with, you know, Jacob. Because Leah was the one that was kind of like forced on him in a sense. But when Rachel had a baby, he probably was proud of Leah's child, you know, Judah, Simeon, Levi, you know what I mean? But when Rachel had this kid, Benjamin, he was, Joseph, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Joseph, you know, he was like extremely, that's why he was like his favorite son too. Like when you look into it, because Joseph came out of Rachel. And his love for Rachel was crazy. He probably even resembled or looked like Rachel a little bit. You remind me of your mother so much. And his brothers envied that. But that's another side of the story. Boyfriend, that's what that touches to. Then like girlfriend, we a little bit past the time, but I'm gonna wrap it up. Girlfriend really hits on from the male, so you got the male and female perspective, right? So the guy, he say, this is my girl. But he's really trying to get the box, get the feel of a woman, all of that, without having to fully commit. And if he can skate up out of there, he's good. But now it's like, if you get her pregnant, you fuck. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of like got a super strap up and pull out. But most dudes over time, you know, they're going to get her pregnant. They're going to leave once the baby come. Normally, once the baby come, the relationship end. And that's it. Now, she a single mother, you know what I mean, broken home, kid, you know, because he never really wanted to be with her anyway. But they use this term, girlfriend and boyfriend. Now, when a woman say, this is my boyfriend, she's referring to like, yo, this the guy who, in her mind, this the guy that really loved me when they young and impressionable. But when they older and they say that just to not look like a whore in front of certain people. So they be like, now these women got no shame. But back then they'd be like, oh, that's my boyfriend. Meaning he committed to her to some type of way. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's my man. Like, I say that. I be like, you know, like, yo, who that? Oh, that's the brother Yashawan. That's your man? Yeah, that's my man. So, like, what the, like, man, boyfriend, these terms don't mean shit. They have no meaning when you really look at it. It was like, yo, it's a husband, it's a wife. You got adultery, man dealing with another man's wife, woman messing around with other men while she have a man. And cheating. Right? So, and that's what that is. Then teenager, it's either you're a child or you're an adult. You're a young woman or a young man. You're still a man, you're still a woman. You're just a young man, you're just a young woman. Or you're a child. That's it. So with that, I know that was type long, but I had to hit those examples, touch on those points. Little woman that was edifying to the left. Y'all meditate on that. Let me know what you think. Probably in the comment board or whatever. Lord willing, that was edifying. Shalom. Y'all busting the Shabbat. Shalom.